Everyday superpower. We talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Gonna talk dynamics, gonna talk relationships. I've entitled this one sort of along the lines of the trick can be the alpha, right? If you want to change the word trick with simp, please do so. If you want to correct me on these words, don't bother, because I'm going to get into it. The man which pays is what I'm speaking of. When we speak of tricking, we speak of the consumer. We speak of the John. It's pimpology, right? You got the pimp, and then you've got the hoe, then you've got the trick. And one would say, oh, I would never be the trick. I would never pay for it. Or in the words of Big L, I wouldn't give her, 50 cents to put a cheese on a cheeseburger or something along the lines of that. I don't care. The trick can be the pimp as much as the pimp can be the trick. It's all a matter of perspectives, dynamics, and the intercommunication of the masculine and the feminine. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, if you utilize the ownership of you making the financial sacrifice, you can have a fantastic relationship as to where she remains in submissive position and does not take you for granted. Right? When you pay the woman to go out on a shopping spree, she may perceive you as a trick, given the rest of your behaviors and your general demeanor directs her perspective to that. Or you can take her out on the shopping spree for the fact that she's never experienced this in her life before, and now you have elevated her in position of being in a comfortable space. And that which is comfortable isn't a bad place to be. Mind, I said comfortable, not consistent. She shouldn't take you for granted. Now, you let her live at your house rent-free, but she's not on the tenancy. You see, this is where the difference is. You don't allow her on the tenancy if she's not paying what you are, but if you are paying, then you have ownership. Then you can say, get out. You can say, you're not getting a cut. You can say whatever. The bottom line is, you enjoy yourself, darling. You remain here, you stay here, and she's probably more inclined to stay with you, given that, where else is she going to go? You can be the alpha by tricking, by paying up front, right? It's a matter of perspective. I seen some guy say in an interview, what's the difference between free pussy and paid pussy in relation to prostitution and dating? He said free pussy's more expensive. You're paying either way, brother. You're putting a little bit of material before you, brother. You're putting some degree of resource before you, brother. Generally speaking, and I'm not saying that you have to, and I'm not saying that it's impossible not to, but I'm just saying if you are, someone who is not on their ass in debt without a penny to their name, it would just come naturally to spend £3 to get a bus somewhere. You see how I laid the foundation? I'm not speaking about buying no one drinks, buying no one handbags, driving a supercar. No. You're not broke as a joke. Like, the idea of money being an energy should be something you are familiar with. You utilize it as such. Let me read my note here. The trick can be the alpha. If she pays her own way, she says yes to her boss. Listen to that. You can cover her life. If she has to accumulate her own in support of you as the man, then she gives her submittance tenfold to her boss because he becomes more of a necessity in her life than you do. They weaponized feminism as a way to get the man and the woman working, as opposed to the woman staying behind looking after the kid. They weaponized it to tax both parties. Does the woman deserve the choice? Yes, most definitely. But was it weaponized and utilized against the people? Yes. So when she can't say no to the boss because she might get fired, and the boss says, no, you can't do that, and sets a boundary, and calls you toxic for saying, come with me somewhere. No, don't go to work. What do you mean? You have to go to work. It's important. It's our child's sporting event. You need to be there. Well, my boss says no. What a sad position that is to be in. Whereas if you were tricking, if you were covering the bills, if you were covering the mortgage, if you were covering her expenditure while she resided in the place you lived, you wouldn't have that problem. And as I said, her name wouldn't be on anything because she hasn't owned anything. She has not invested into that. But she's happy. And some would say, oh, no, was this the 1960s or 1920s or whatever flipping period you want? This, we don't live in a traditional world no more. Right, okay, then you can miss your child's event and miss your child growing up and give your child to some random weirdo and pay them to just enter your house and look after your kid and do the job you're supposed to do, biologically speaking, animalistically speaking. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Look at the traditional means of our biology. Pick up an animal behavior book and see the reality that is that we're not allowed to speak of purely for political reasons, yet that politicized element is deducted when we look at how birds interact, invertebrates, and so on and so forth. They're more than happy to speak factually, and then you think, wait a minute, this kind of sounds like a traditional masculine and feminine relationship that humans should be living. The masculine principle is provision. She will make your life a dream if you play this role correctly. She's attracted and magnetized to resource. It's very important. You should be magnetized to resource, right? You're not attracted to her because she's got resources, but you're attracted to resources because it allows you to attract women. Chase the money, don't chase the women. You're going to lose the money chasing the women, but you're not going to lose women chasing money. It's a masculine principle. It's written and hardwired within you. Yeah, don't settle for less. If you can pay to have a roof over her head, it might be very well in your benefit. But the thing being, I know that it's not as easy as that. But it's in your imperative as the man, as an independent man prior to a, man in a relationship. It should be your imperative to have complete ownership and strive to garner the resource, to be free. Anyway. Is that unreasonable? You will make both of your lives better. You will make your child's life better. Co-ownership is fine on anything because we don't live a world where we're just given a ton of money for nothing. We have to have unique and inventive means of being to garner that resource, given it wasn't given to us from our families, right? And then even if it was given to you from your family, you're more prone to act like the negative, the dark, like the flipping Star Wars film, the dark side of the trick, right? You're going to get walked all over because you haven't accumulated this game, because it's been handed to you. Now you've got a problem. But when you perceive things as they are, from the microcosm to the macro, and understand this unique energy that applies to our communications as man and woman, if not man and man, if not woman and woman. then you position yourself in a great realm to maneuver this relationship where she's happy, where you're happy, where the future is bright. We think 10, 20, 50, 100 steps ahead. That's some game. I'm signing out. Click like and subscribe. Peace.